All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen. So in this episode, we're covering episode number 3 of talking about the Online Summit program, which is our online personal training service created specifically to help hikers get fit, strong, and resilient for their adventures. And essentially in episode number 1, we covered how we go about the training side of things and how we personalize our specialized training for you to get you in a great spot for the trail. Episode number 2, we covered education and all the tips, tactics, and strategies that we often share to help fill in the gaps around the training. And then today, we're talking about our third pillar of this program, which is coaching and support. Because when it comes down to these types of training programs, and when it comes down to any type of training journey, in 99.99% of situations, it's not a linear journey. It's not a completely smooth process. There are things that come up. For example, maybe there'll be a change in weather and you had big hiking plans and all of a sudden it's a massive heat wave or it's a massive torrential rain and you're like, you know what, that needs to change. Or maybe you get sick, or maybe you get a parent who needs looking after, or maybe you get unexpected visitors, or maybe you have to travel for work. Maybe you're low on energy, maybe you're not sleeping well, or whatever it may be. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of little things that do come up during a training process, which, if left to our own devices, sometimes this can just throw us out of whack. Maybe we lose our momentum with our training. Maybe we don't know how to adapt things, and we just kind of fall off the gears and fall off, out of the consistency of things. I'm sure anyone listening to this program has gone through that in the past where they were training on their own, they were doing really well, something came up, they fell out of their routine, and they just never really picked it up. I've done it a bunch of times, and I'm sure you've done it as well. So essentially, the third pillar of the program is to help you with this and make sure this doesn't happen, and that is the coaching and support. So essentially, everyone that signs up on the Online Summit program is assigned a one-to-one coach to be their kind of guide and their mentor through the process. And they'll be given a one-to-one coach who will really, really work them through week by week by week through the program. Now, essentially, this sort of, there's a few different things that kind of goes into this relationship. Number one, the coach themselves is there to answer any questions you ever have. You have any questions, issues, concerns, something's too easy, too difficult, whatever it may be, you can simply just send them a message via the training app I mentioned in the other episode, and they get back to you pretty quickly. Now, on top of that, generally each week, we generally have a couple of touch points just to make sure everyone is really, really on track. Now, number one, every single Monday, we have a check-in, which we call Monday Accountability, where essentially one-to-one with your coach via the app, you'll answer a series of 7 different questions via message. The same questions pop up each week. It's just a recurring check-in we will do every single week. But this is a really, 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 really valuable part of the process. Because number one, at the start of each week, for you yourself, purely if we did nothing else at all on the coaching side of things, purely if you just had a set time each week where you did a little bit of self-reflection, where you thought about, okay, what's been good in the last week? What's been bad in the last week? What obstacle is coming up? What do I need to overcome that? And you purely just sat down and thought about that. You didn't do anything else in regards to coaching and support through the week. I guarantee you, that'd be so powerful. And purely just having some set self-reflection at the start of each week can just go such a long way. Now, number 2, obviously, you're going to be sharing this with your coach. So then your coach can get some information around what's good, what's bad, what's coming up. And they can give you a little bit of advice if needed. If you've got an obstacle coming up, they can work you through it. If you've got to change things for the week, they can work you through it. If something was too easy or you sort of struggled on your hike or whatever it may be, they can point you in the right direction. So every single week, you'll get that point of contact with your coach. And then through the week, you'll have a bit of back and forth. And if you do a workout and you're like, that exercise was a bit too easy, you send a coach a message, they'll sort you out. Or you come going through the week, you're like, you know what, actually, I'm not feeling amazing. I'm a bit low on energy. Your coach can let you know around how to adjust sessions or whatever it is. So you have this sort of ongoing relationship with your coach through the entire process just to work around anything that's going on. So you can keep your momentum, keep your consistency, and just keep on moving forward regardless of what's going on. Now, that's the first aspect of the coaching and support, and that's the main aspect. You'll just have someone in your corner working you through, which can just be so, so, so valuable. Now, the second aspect that kind of comes into this coaching and support is we also do run a number of live group coaching calls every single week, which you're more than welcome to join. So basically, I personally run an open Q&A every single week. So anyone in the program can hop on, have some face-to-face time with me, chat through anything that's going on, ask any questions you want. We run gear Q&As where you have any gear-related questions. You can hop on, ask questions about that. We run nutrition Q&As where if you have any nutrition-related questions, we have a dietitian who specializes in hikers who comes and runs these sessions, so you can hop on, ask any nutrition-related questions and get some specialist advice. We also have a monthly mindset call where we get a mindset expert to come in and run workshops on different topics around mindset. So you can basically hop on, ask and get some help there. And ultimately, we've got these different calls from different specialists in different areas, so you can kind of hop in between and sort of pick their specialist knowledge and really, really fill in the gaps of your knowledge. It can be really, really useful. And then finally, we've got a little private Facebook group, which we run with just purely for people who are going through this program. And inside there, we have a pretty cool community of hikers who are kind of based all around the world, but who are training for similar things, going through similar struggles. We share our adventures, we share our wins, and it's a really nice little community of people just to kind of get a bit of personal connection of other people going through this program. So ultimately, these three things come together in the coaching support. You've got your one-to-one coach, you've got those group coaching calls, and you've got a little bit of a community to bounce off. And we ultimately find if you can stick with this, it can just really, really, really help you through whatever may pop up. Whether you get sick, whether you're demotivated, whether you have a trip change, or whatever it is, as long as you're working through it with your coach, we can really overcome almost anything that does come up. And I really do feel like this is kind of the secret sauce in regards to our program, because just having that coaching support is just makes such a massive, massive difference. So ultimately, that's really where the third pillar finishes. So we've talked through personalized training, we've talked through education, and we talked through coaching and support. Those are the three things that come into the online summit program. Those are the three things that are built out in the online summit program. And then all of those three things are personalized to the individual to sort of fit around your life, your situation, and your story. And ultimately, if you work through those three things, we can really be confident, I see some really, really good results. And we've helped hikers from, first-time hikers who've never done a full day hike before, but they've been struggling with their fitness or maybe an injury, whatever it may be, and they want to build that up. All the way up to we had someone currently doing the 8,000-meter mountains around the world, unassisted with oxygen, and they're currently doing that. And every type of hiker and mountaineer in between. Because this is personalized, because it's dedicated around you and your life, and we can tweak it to fit around where you're at, it doesn't matter whether you're a first-time hiker or a hardcore mountaineer, we can make sure it's going to be right for you. So, with that being said, I'm going to wrap up this little 3-episode series now. I have enjoyed talking about the program, so for the people still listening, appreciate you giving me a chance to talk about this, my baby here, which is great, and it's always a good fun. So I hope you have enjoyed this as well. Now, if you have listened to all of these and you're like, you know what, actually, I want to learn a little bit more. I've been stagnant with my training. Maybe I've got a big trip coming up. Maybe I'm just struggling with an ankle pain. I'm just not really getting where I need to be, or whatever it is. If you want to learn a little bit more about how this all runs, all you need to do is go to summitstrength.com.au/apply. From there, you can book a quick call with our team. We can have a bit of a chat, connect, and ultimately just see if and how our training may be right for you. So thank you so much for listening. Hope you have a lovely day, and we'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye.